Happy December, friends! Oh my goodness, so fun to be back. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I am excited to share a new recipe that I have actually not tried, so we're trying it together. But it's from Ina Garten, so it cannot be bad. I'm doing a little twist from what she did with this recipe. It's a prosciutto wrapped pork tenderloin. And the reason why I wanted to feature this one is, number one, I wanted to try it. Number two, it's one of those meals where it feels fancy, but it's honestly really not that hard. Starts with a pork tenderloin. It's packaged, you unpackage it, dry it off if you need to. I'm gonna rub some fresh chopped herbs. These are just some herbs I had left over from Thanksgiving. So some thyme and some rosemary and a little bit of sage. I threw in some fresh garlic and salt and pepper and then olive oil. So I made like a little bit of herb paste. And then I will wrap all of it with prosciutto. Tucker's talking about it. Somebody's probably outside, so we'll just ignore him. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it all up and roast it, and I'm gonna do it with just some simple potatoes and Brussels sprouts. That's not as much as important, but this whole meal comes together in minutes as far as making it, and then it will roast for about 20 to 25 minutes on a high heat. So I'm gonna show you a couple tricks with my potato and Brussels sprouts with how to make those so everything kind of comes out at the same time. This is a meal though, if you're just feeling like in quarantine, you're over it, but you wanna just go, okay, fine, I'm gonna do something a little fun, a little fancy, but not with a ton of effort. This might be something fun. So you can tuck this one away for maybe the holidays coming up or just to treat yourself. That's what I'm doing. It's just a random, what is it? Today's Tuesday. It's the day before I'm gonna be dropping this video. I'm a little late, but you know, just have fun with it, and I'm excited to show you how easy this can be. All right, let's get started. Okie doke. Hi. I'm down here. So I got my pork tenderloin. I love parchment. You guys have been watching me for a while know that I love to put a piece of parchment paper down. It just makes my cleanup a lot easier. So I took paper towels, patted this thing dry a little bit, and now I just have this simple herb mixture. There's not a ton of it, actually. And I did a little bit of I'm gonna do a little bit of olive oil in here just in case that'll help it stick. Rub my pork tenderloin. You're gonna get your hands a little messy, but see, you just rub this herb mixture. And you guys, if you did not have fresh herbs, you could totally just do dried. I mean, you know, if you didn't have fresh garlic, use jarred, or, you know, do a different flavor profile. It doesn't have to be perfect. The idea is it's more about the method. A little bit of oil, meat, some sort of an herb concoction, and then I'm wrapping it in this prosciutto, which I've got right here. Hopefully I can do this real time for you. This prosciutto can be a little finicky to get peeled off, so I may not film all of it. Anyways, prosciutto goes on here, and this is like an Italian ham. I'm just gonna tuck it under, just like so. Get my next piece. And again, doesn't have to be perfect. It's just the idea. This is gonna add flavor. It's gonna add a little crispiness. Now, Ina ties hers up with kitchen twine. I do happen to have that, but I'm gonna try not doing it because I feel like that's something that most people don't have on hand. And then we can learn together because, yeah, I wanna try and, you know, be as common as possible so that people who are cooking at home can feel like, I can do that. So we'll do it together. Okay, hopefully you're seeing me do this. And again, just wrapping this prosciutto. Doesn't have to be perfect. I am overlapping it just a touch. If the tail of the meat is really, really thin, you can kind of tuck it under just a touch. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna just do one more piece of prosciutto here. The reason why is so that it cooks a little more evenly. You don't want that tail to be totally dried out. It's just like wasting a whole piece of the meat. So get this last piece of prosciutto on here, and it's kind of tearing, but don't sweat it. Just, you know, pop them together, wrapping it around with that tail. And now this little baby is all bundled. If you did have kitchen string, what you want to do is just put a piece under, tie it up in each spot. We're gonna let it be just like it is. and it's going into a 450-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, hi. Next part of the recipe, optional, but if you want to make a whole meal of it, I have some potatoes. These are small baby gold, Yukon Golds. I just cut them into quarters, little oil, a little bit of rosemary, keep them with the theme of the herbs, and salt and pepper. I put those in while I was prepping my pork tenderloin, just so they can kind of get a little bit started, because potatoes can take a little longer, but these are babies and they're quartered, so they shouldn't take too long. Additionally, these are Brussels sprouts. What I want to say about these, before I got everything going, I took the Brussels sprouts and I did what's called parboiling them. So I took them whole, trimmed the ends, and threw them into a pot of boiling salted water. I let them boil for about 3 to 4 minutes. The reason why I'm doing this is really high heat, and I want to cook everything at the same time. So what happens is when you have really high heat, you'll cook the outside before the inside gets cooked. But by pre-cooking your vegetables a little bit, throwing them into some ice water so they stop cooking and just letting them kind of hang out, you can do that way ahead of time. By the way, this is what restaurants do all the time for their vegetables. They don't have time to roast veggies every plate they put out. So they will pre-cook a bunch of vegetables so they're partially cooked. That's called the parboil, partially boiled, and then hold them chilled, and then they can throw them into a saute pan with hot oil, butter, seasonings, whatever they're gonna do to zhuzh them up. And then you've got a really fresh, crisp, tender veggie that comes together really quick. So I'm doing kind of the same thing here. I am gonna cut these in half. I like my Brussels to be real tender and kind of crispy. So they're gonna go in the same bowl that I had tossed my potatoes with, that I already have a little oil, salt, and pepper. I'm gonna hit them with just a bit more oil and some salt and pepper. Pretty generous. By the way, you notice I didn't salt that meat because the prosciutto is salty and my herb mixture already had plenty of salt and pepper mixed in. So I'm just tossing these around. I'm gonna throw them on the sheet tray. Both of these guys are going on the same one. I'm gonna try to put everybody kind of in the same direction, at least facing down, and spread them out a little bit. And then I gotta get a pot holder so I don't burn myself. And these guys are now gonna go back in that 450-degree oven for the next 20 minutes, because I started it at 22. And everything's gonna come out at the same time. It's gonna be so awesome. And oh my goodness, you guys, it smells really good in here. I'm so excited about this meal. So here's what's cool too. When the pork is done, you wanna let it rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. The juices will redistribute within the tenderloin. It also allows for what's called carryover cooking. So you pull it out and it's not quite done. It'll still kind of keep cooking. So thermometer wise, you want it to be about 140, 145-ish. That's my preference. Some people might like it a little more rare, but I feel like that's a good 145 is kind of my number. Look at the veggies. So totally golden and gorgeous. So as the meat rests, my veggies continue to cook and they just get really pretty. So I've already plated them right here, you can see. And I hit my Brussels with a little bit of this balsamic glaze, kind of a fun thing. I get this at Trader Joe's. Just, it makes it seem so fancy, but it's not, you guys. It's potatoes, some veggies, and some meat. Pretty basic, but those little touches. So this is crispy and you can smell the herbs and see the herbs. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna do a little pre-taster here, and then I'll get my thing plated up and take some pictures for you guys. But I wanna just get in here right now for a little taste. Tucker's in here too, of course. He's real excited. Oh my gosh, you guys. I mean, don't mess with my girl Ina. She knows what she's talking about. Whoa! This is like a flavor bomb in your mouth. My dog wants to go outside. Just a second, Tucker. Salty, savory, herby. The meat is juicy and tender. I mean, this is like crispy bacon on the outside of the meat. How bad can that be? Not bad at all. The garlic comes through nicely, but it's not too powerful. I'll have all the details, like always, underneath the video with the full recipe and all the little tricks and things that I did. Again, with the potatoes, you could do sweet potatoes, you could do all veggies. This is just to give you the idea of how the timing worked with all of it. It really is pretty simple to pull it together. I'm super excited for you guys to try this one. This would make a really nice Christmas Eve, Christmas Day dinner. Give it a try. Delight of the bite. Subscribe, share, tell your friends. I'm excited about December. There's a lot of fun things coming. I'm gonna do some special cookies, and it's not gonna be a low-cal month. I'm just forewarning you. So don't get stressed out. It's okay. Just maintain. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Great to be back. See you next time. Bye-bye.